In the heart of a sleepy Georgia town, under the flickering neon glow of the Waffle House sign, an unexpected encounter was about to unfold. It was just past 2, the air thick with southern humidity, and the diner was alive with the comforting clatter of plates and the low hum of conversation. This was a sanctuary for night owls, truck drivers, and anyone else seeking solace in a greasy bite at an odd hour. Among the handful of patrons scattered across the booths, the aroma of coffee mingled with the sizzling of bacon, creating a warm, familiar atmosphere. At the center of this bustling scene was Lila, a waitress in her late 20s, whose vibrant personality filled the room more than her physical presence. Her name tag, slightly askew on her uniform, read Lila, and her round cheeks often turned rosy from laughter, which was frequent and contagious. Known for her quick wit and generous smile, Lila moved through the restaurant like a whirlwind, balancing trays stacked high with waffles, hash browns, and coffee cups. On this particular night, the diner buzzed with a mix of locals and a few out-of-towners. In a corner booth, a group of college students chatted animatedly, their laughter echoing against the walls. At the counter, an older gentleman with a weathered face sipped his coffee slowly, savoring each moment of quiet in his chaotic life. As Lila poured coffee for the students, she couldn't help but overhear their conversation. They were discussing a tech billionaire, someone she had only half heard of before, but who seemed to dominate every news cycle. "Did you hear what Elon Musk said this week?" one of the students exclaimed, stirring his coffee as if it held the secrets of the universe. "I can't believe he wants to send people to Mars." "What a wild idea," Lila chuckled to herself, shaking her head. "These kids and their tech talk," she murmured under her breath, wiping down a nearby table with a rag that had seen better days. In the booth, just adjacent to the counter, a bit farther from the majority of the diners, sat a man whose face was partially obscured, but his features were unmistakable, sharp with a hint of mischief in his eyes. It was Elon Musk, the man everyone seemed to be talking about. He had come to this small Waffle House for a late-night bite, hoping to escape the scrutiny of the world, even if just for a moment. He was incognito, or at least he was trying to be. Despite the whirlwind of activity around him, he was focused, a slight grin tugging at the corners of his mouth. Lila returned to the booth with her pen poised over her notepad, ready to take his order. "What can I get for you tonight?" she asked, her tone cheerful as ever. Elon glanced up, surprised but pleased by her energy. "I'll take the all-star special," he said, a hint of a smile crossing his lips, and a side of grits. "Coming right up," she replied, jotting down his order with enthusiasm. Little did she know she was serving one of the most influential people in the world. The golden waffles were stacked high, drizzled with syrup that glistened in the soft light. "Here you go. One all-star special with a side of grits," she announced, placing the plate in front of him. "Looks amazing." "Thank you," Elon replied with a warm and genuine voice. Lila couldn't help but smile, her heart swelling with pride. "Enjoy. Let me know if you need anything else," she said, before stepping back to give him space. As she walked away, she caught the eye of one of the college students, who was now whispering to his friends, glancing back at the booth with the mysterious man. She shrugged it off, thinking they were probably just fascinated by the late-night atmosphere and the greasy food. While Lila continued to serve other tables, she occasionally glanced back at Elon, who was engrossed in his meal, seemingly unaware of the commotion around him. He took a sip of his coffee, and the world outside was momentarily forgotten. Unbeknownst to Lila, her interactions with Elon were being recorded. capturing the joy and authenticity of the moment. The camera in the corner of the booth documented everything. The warmth in her voice, the casual banter, the friendly service that characterized Waffle House waitstaff everywhere. As the minutes passed, the restaurant continued to buzz, and Lila's energy never waned. She joked with the college kids, refilled coffee mugs, and served up plates of crispy hash browns. The night unfolded in its usual rhythm, but there was an electric undercurrent in the air, a hint of magic that Lila couldn't quite put her finger on, but it made her nervous. The manager called out, "Lila, can you take an order of the house special waffles to that table?" Pointed toward Elon's corner, "and don't forget the special sauce." "Got it," she replied, trying to shake off the nagging feeling of nerves. She balanced the plate of steaming waffles and a small cup of sauce, making her way through the bustling diner. As she approached the booth, she noticed something strange. 3 people were gathered nearby with their phones out, pointed directly at Elon. Panic surged through her. Was he famous? Why were they recording? She got to his table, put the waffles down, and started pouring the sauce. But as she was about to say that this was on the house, Lila lost her grip. The sauce tipped precariously and splattered, splashing both Elon and the plate of waffles. "Oh no," she gasped, mortified. But this Waffle House waitress still had no idea that she was being recorded because the man in front of her was Elon Musk. The sudden chaos caught everyone's attention. Lila's cheeks flushed crimson as she scrambled to grab napkins, feeling humiliated. And as if that weren't enough, a couple of students revealed the identity of the man whose outfit she had just ruined in the worst possible way. They yelled, You incompetent lady. You just splashed one of the richest men on the planet." Suddenly, she realized why his face was so familiar, and suddenly she knew who he was. The laughter of the students echoed in her ears, amplifying her embarrassment. She could hardly focus on anything else as she desperately tried to clean up the mess, wishing she could disappear. Lila's heart raced as she fumbled for napkins. Her mind was swirling with embarrassment. She had seen her fair share of spills in the Waffle House, but this was different. This was Elon Musk, the tech mogul who changed the world with a tweet, sitting right in front of her, and she had just drenched him in a syrupy sauce. "Oh my gosh! I'm so sorry!" she exclaimed with a mixture of panic and regret. "I didn't mean to." "It's all right," Elon replied with a hefty dose of laughter dancing in his eyes. "I've had worse nights." He reached for a napkin and helped her dab at the mess. Lila couldn't help but chuckle nervously. "I mean, if you need to go to Mars to escape this, I wouldn't blame you." The laughter bubbled out of her, breaking the tension. Elon chuckled, the sound rich and genuine. "If this is the kind of service I can expect on Earth, I might reconsider my plans." His lightheartedness put Lila at ease. And for a moment, the world outside the diner faded away, leaving just the two of them amidst the chaos of plates and laughter. As she cleaned, she noticed that the college students had put their phones down, their attention captivated by the unexpected camaraderie forming in the booth. "Can I get you anything else?" Lila asked, her tone more confident now. "Just your company for a minute," he said, leaning back in his seat. "Tell me about this place. What makes Waffle House so special?" Lila's eyes lit up, a spark of pride igniting within her. "It's the heart of the community. We get everyone here, students, truck drivers, families at all hours. It's where stories are shared, Meals are had, and friendships are forged over greasy plates of food. She gestured around the diner, and her enthusiasm was infectious. People come in as strangers and leave as friends. Elon nodded, clearly interested. That sounds amazing. I think there's something special about places like this where people can be themselves without any pretense. Lila felt a connection forming. Exactly. You don't have to be anyone but yourself here. Just good food and good company. Elon leaned forward, intrigued. What about you? What's your story? She hesitated, but his genuine interest encouraged her. Well, I grew up in this town, and Waffle House has always been a part of my life. I started working here after high school, and I love it. It can be exhausting, but it's rewarding, you know. Absolutely, he replied. It's important to find joy in what you do, no matter how simple. Lila felt a warmth in his words, a show and tell that success wasn't solely defined by fame or wealth. Yeah, and I think laughter is the best part of my job. I get to meet so many interesting people every day. Just then, one of Lila's co-workers, Emma, walked over, eyes wide with concern. Lila, are you okay? I saw the spill. I'm so sorry about that. It's fine, Lila replied, brushing off his worries. Elon's been really cool about it. Emma blinked, recognition dawning on his face. Elon Musk, you're kidding. Elon waved casually, just trying to enjoy some waffles, like everyone else. All right, just let me know if you need anything, Emma said, still in awe as he walked away. With a sense of relief settling over her, Lila returned to the conversation. So, do you often find yourself at diners in the middle of the night? Elon laughed. Not as often as I'd like, but I think it's important to experience life outside of the boardroom. It keeps me grounded. She nodded, understanding the weight of his words. Yeah. It can be easy to forget about the little things when you're busy changing the world. As they spoke, Lila noticed the atmosphere in the diner shifting. Patrons who had been oblivious to the spill were now leaning in, captivated by the unlikely exchange. The college students resumed their chatter, but now they were stealing glances at the booth. What's the wildest thing you've ever done? Lila asked, a playful curiosity shining in her eyes. Elon paused. That's a tough one. Probably when I went to a space launch in a onesie. Don't ask, he said, laughter spilling from him as Lila's eyes widened. I'll tell you, the internet didn't let me forget that one for a while. She burst out laughing, and for a moment they shared a genuine connection. I bet. I can just imagine the memes, she replied. After a moment, she noticed the clock on the wall. Oh no, I should get back to work. Do you need anything else? He shook his head, still smiling. Just keep being you. That's the best service I could ask for. Feeling a rush of warmth, Lila couldn't help but smile back. Thanks, Elon. I really appreciate that. As she turned to leave, he called after her. Hey, Lila. She paused, looking back at him. Make sure to come say hi if you ever need a break from the craziness here, he said. I'd love to hear more of your stories. Her heart swelled. I just might take you up on that, she replied. The rest of her shift flew by in a blur of laughter and camaraderie. As she cleared plates and poured coffee, she caught snippets of conversation about the man in the corner booth. The story of the Waffle House waitress and the tech billionaire began to weave itself into the fabric of the diner's late-night lore. When her shift finally ended, Lila couldn't shake the warmth from her encounter. She stepped outside, the cool air hitting her like a refreshing wave. The sky was a canvas of stars, and for a moment she felt as if anything was possible. With a smile on her face, she glanced back at the diner, a sense of gratitude swelling in her chest. That night, amidst the chaos of the Waffle House, a small moment of connection sparked something beautiful. Little did she know, the recording of her encounter with Elon would soon find its way onto social media, spreading joy and laughter far beyond her sleepy town. What do you think about how Elon reacted when Lila made a mess? Do you know any stories like this you want to share? If you do, we'd love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. We will see you in the next video.